Yo, what's going on, Madden community? Collisionworks here with another guide for you all. Today, guys, we are going to be going over strong close. Now, if you guys have been around the channel for a bit, you guys know that strong close is my favorite formation in Madden. Now, this year, tight slots pretty much took the throne, but in years past, this has always been my go-to. And I always make videos on this formation, so I got to keep the tradition going and show you guys my scheme for this year's game as well. The goal of this is also to have it translate well in Madden 24, so if you guys want these guides as well, they will work pretty good for the new game, so keep that in mind. Now, these are the plays we're going to be working with today. We're going to be starting with wide receiver out. This is kind of my starting main play, really. We're going to use FL drive, wide trail, and PA scissors. Now, I'm doing this out of the Jets playbook. I like the Jets playbook if I want to run strong close just because they have really good run plays in I form. Obviously, you have strong close, and you have some meta formations in here as well. You have tight Y off, and if you like split close, I know some guys still really love this formation. These options are here as well, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to be using the Jets playbook. Guys, quick pause. I just want to let you all know, if you guys are into more meta schemes, I would recommend using the Jets or the West Coast playbook for this formation if you want to add it to your arsenal. But if you want some good anti-meta run plays, I made a little quick video on the running gun playbook showing off the best plays in that for anti-meta. So just know these are your options as well. So to start off, we're going to be doing wide receiver out, and we'll go up against cover 3. Now, with strong close, I typically always have my offense on the weak side of the field, so my tight end is always going to be closest to the sideline basically every single down, so keep that in mind. Now, against cover 3 stock, our setup is going to be to wheel our running back, and then for the first play, or the first setup of a wide receiver out, I just put B on a hitch, so this is going to be our play art. This tight end post is really good, but if the vertical zones of the linebackers play the hitch, you can put these guys on a cross, or your tight end on a cross, and sometimes it pulls the linebackers a little better, but that's kind of per game and how the defense is playing. But basically, our first read is always going to be the running back. Then I like to look at my fullback and then hitch, something like this. If I know I can fit this in, I can throw this early. But as you see, against cover 3, we can still get positive yards, but the linebacker's there. I'll set this up again for you all, just like this, super easy setup. I can use my hitch underneath right there. Such a great, easy yard play underneath. And if they are playing the hard flat, we can go ahead and hit our hitch here as well. If they're also playing hard flat, you can hit your wheel right here. Wait for the play to develop a little bit. And as you see, the curl flat plays a little close to the hitch, but still enough room to get in there. And if they're playing a hard flat, the hitch will be even more open. Now, the second setup against cover 3 is going to be wheel your running back again. I should have mentioned the out route on Evans. You can put a flat on him, but I typically like the out route this year. In years past, I have removed it, but that's completely up to you. But for this play, we're going to be doing B on a slant, and we're going to motion snap him. Now, you can motion snap him or wait for him to get set for this play. I'm going to let him get set. You can do either one, but this is what the play art looks like. As you see, RB is open, Y is open, and B gets open inside that little pocket to the right of the whoa, I'm sorry. B is going to get open on that slant to the right side of the right vert hook linebacker and to the left of the curl flat. So I'll show this to you again. Late in the play, the slant gets open inside the seam right here. Show you right there. The post pulls that linebacker really well, and you can find a really easy opening there. So this is what I like to run against cover 3. You can also do stuff like this if you wanted. If you wanted kind of it's kind of similar to what we did with Flood in our last video. You can streak Godwin here, do something like this. I typically don't run this, but of course your tight end will get open or underneath. You kind of have a high-low here. But PA scissors isn't really something I use too much. I have so much success with wide receiver out that this is typically what I'm always going to run against cover 3. All right, boys, now cover 2. We're going to be doing wide trail, and we're going to be doing this as our bomb play against cover 2. So I'm going to go ahead and set my zone drops to 30, just so you guys can see what this looks like against Tampa 2 at max zone depth height. So for this setup, for the bomb play, what I like to do here is I like to streak Godwin and motion him over. What's nice about this is this motion is still very similar to wide receiver out. It's the exact same motion, so it's not a tell that we're going to be going with our bomb play. But our main receiver here for wide trail is going to be Evans here, deep on the left side. As you see, with 30-yard dropbacks, it's still not enough to cover this deep kind of corner route. And just an excellent play to get over top of those zone depths. I'll show this to you guys again, like this. Motion over Godwin. I like to wait for him to get set in this year's game, but you can motion snap him as well. But I prefer him getting set. as you guys see, they just get right over top of it and outside of the safety. Over top the 30 flat and outside of the safety. Just a great play. For our second play, what we're going to be doing against cover 2 is going to be FL drive. Now, our setup here is going to be to corner out Godwin. And then what I like to do is I like to trail my tight end. And then I like to streak my running back or put him on a wheel. I know this is a lot. And if you guys are getting screamed at, this may not be the best play. But I do want to show you guys my sending 5 against cover 2. Now, first read is always going to be if I can hit Mike Evans deep down the middle. You know, if we can get that big chunk play immediately, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Our second read, if we're looking for a bomb, is going to be Godwin here in the corner. We set this up again, just like this. As you see, Godwin can still get over top of a deep default flat. Now, that's still set on 30, so I'm going to bring that back to default just so you guys can see a normal stop cover 2. But against a default cover 2 flat, the corner route will get open. I'll show that to you real quick. All right, let me set this back to default just so you guys see that. As you guys see, Godwin here on versus a default cover 2 can still get past the cloud flat very, very effectively. Immediately just wide open over the top. So I'm always going to be looking for Evans and Godwin first to see if I can get those big chunk plays. But what's nice is with the fullback, he can kind of pull this seam hook far enough to the right side of the field so we can find an opening with our trail route. Now, if you have short end elite, this is obviously going to work better. But right here works really well. What's also nice is if that guy's covered or if the user is covering him, you also have your running back here and the wheel or the streak, whatever you find success or whatever you like them running more. This is kind of based on what your abilities are on your running back. I'll do a streak for this video. But as you see, let's say our tight end is covered. We still have our running back here. What's nice about the streak is he kind of runs a little slower, but that is more practice mode glitch as well. So just kind of feel out what you like more for this setup. If you like the wheel or the streak better, I'll show you guys the wheel as well, just for example. There's your wheel. Very, very similar, but that is going to be it for FL drive. I'll show you guys wide receiver out. Wide receiver out is going to be our next play against cover 2. Now, we're going to be doing the same setup as we did for cover 3. This isn't the best cover 2 beater, but it still is viable. Again, though, this isn't really what I'm going to be going for, but or this is not what I'm going to be reaching for when I'm trying to beat cover 2, but we're going to be going with the second setup versus cover 3, which is going to be the motion snap slant. Now, I do like to motion snap this play. I don't want him to get his feet set, so I'll do something like this. And as you see here, despite the pressure, or if there wasn't pressure, rather, we can hit our slant and our flat early. Show this to you again. It's like this. See, slant gets open, and then we kind of have a high-low with the tight end as well. Now, you got to watch out throwing to your tight end late because the wheel is going to be pulling zones in his direction, but this is still a really good play. You can also put your fullback here on a ghost route if you wanted, something like this, because you're going to be pulling that zone over. Just like this. Then you can throw to your fullback right here. You want to do something like that, just hit underneath if it's open. But just kind of feel around this play. Again, this isn't what I'm always reaching for, but it's still very viable. If you guys have a misread against cover 3 and you go with your wide receiver out as a cover 3 beater, just know you can still make some reads against cover 2 if your defense, or if the opponent's defense rather, comes out in cover 2 with a baseline. So just keep that in mind. Alrighty guys, now cover 4, we're going to be doing wide receiver out. Now for this setup, this is going to be very, very similar to cover 3, just with one minor adjustment. We're going to be wheeling our running back again, putting our B receiver on a hitch, but now for this setup, we're going to be putting our tight end on a crosser. This is going to pull those zones in the middle a lot better to get our hitch open on the right side. As you see here, our fullback is open immediately. This formation is very much on attacking the flats. Funny story time, I got booted from an online league because I was dominating somebody in the flats with this formation. Is pretty hilarious. But anyway, this setup is just so great against cover 4. That crosser on the tight end is going to get this hitch wide open. And again, always hit that flat if it's open to you. As well as you have your wheel again, just like this, right here. Or I'm sorry, your out route rather, open. This is really good against cover 4 just because the purple zones have to play this wheel. If they don't, then your wheel is going to be open. If they do cover the wheel, your out's going to be open. I'll try and force the wheel here, right here. Throw that early, get something underneath. But in that scenario, I'm typically going to be throwing to the out route on the receiver. It's just such a great zone beating scheme. As well as if we want to go back to what we were doing earlier, you can run something like this with FL drive. This is pretty much scissors, if we're being honest. but you run something like this, kind of have some high-lows on the right side, just like that. You can beat your purple zone with the tight end on the corner. And then that's kind of it. I mean, wide receiver out and scissors or FL flood with the corner and streak to pull the deep zones, just really fry cover 4. I'll show this to you again right here. Set up like this works really well, and you can block your running back. It's just wide open every single time, so just a great formation at beating zone coverages. Now let's get into man coverage, fellas. Alrighty guys, now beating man coverage, now just like our other videos in the past, I always say and mention that I do freestyle against man coverage, but what's really nice about this formation is we do get really good route running by the tight end, just because of his tight end angle routes, or his degree at which he cuts with corners and post. Now what's also nice is because the tight end's on the line, we get trail routes, which are really effective against man. Now in a real game scenario, if I'm playing MUT, I'm always going to have a short out receiver to help beat man press, but you know, we can still beat man coverage in many other ways despite not having those abilities. Now, just for a first setup, if I wanted to freestyle, let's say our opponent here is an Overstorm Brave, so he's setting up just like this. I'll go ahead and do some type of setup where I can put my tight end on a corner route, probably block my running back, slide right, do something like that, and ID opposite of my slide protection. Now, I would do probably motion snap slant if I don't have short out. If I do have short out elite, I'd probably, let's say I have short out elite on Evans, put him on a streak, motion snap something like this. As you guys see here, this corner out. If you have speed at tight end, he will beat the man coverage every single time just because of the tight end post and corner routes. I can also show you post route as well. I'll show you post route by the tight end, something like this. What you can also do is if you have enough time, this is what I was doing early in the year. I'd put this outside receiver on a C route, and then I'd bring him back in just so I could have a motion slant and a C route on the left side of the field. This does work, but it's kind of obvious that you're running it, you know? But this is very good as well. So what's nice is you kind of have a slant post combo. We talked about this earlier in our tight slots video. As you see, your tight end here is going to get open. Now, obviously, you do have your C route that's conflicting it, but still an option, of course. But typically, you know, if you're going to run that C route, or if you're going to run the post, you don't want that C route to interfere. I just kind of was giving you guys an example. Sorry, that looks sloppy, but just keep that in mind. Sometimes this out route does get open against man, but still, I'm going to play outside, and I'll show you guys what playing outside looks like against it. I didn't set up my protection there, my apologies. So I'm going to pinch, set up the blitz, play outside, and then individually shade Evans outside. And then I'm going to try and block this blitz here. Just like that. As you see, sometimes, you know, he beats him, sometimes he doesn't. Always want to highball that, especially if you do get the beating animation, but just keep that in mind. I'll let you guys go back to my video talking about how to beat man coverage, and you guys can see how to beat it in that video. It does apply to this formation extremely well, so try to keep those videos short, so please consider checking out that video. It'll help you guys out a lot. Now, I should teach you guys how to actually block blitzes in under center. I think I made a video on this earlier in the year, but I don't remember, so I'm just going to throw it in here for this scheme as well. But there's a lot of methods we can do that I've learned while playing under center this year, and some tips that you guys might not know that I wanted to go over. So, typically in under center formations, if you are running a play action play and you block your running back, as you see down here, his pass blocking angle is to the left. And what's nice about this is I'm just going to snap it here. You'll see our running back will rush to the left side of the offensive line to pick up a blitz or a blitzer. Now, it's really good to know, especially when trying to block certain blitzes. So if we wanted to run PA scissors and I know they're blitzing, I can block my running back and slide my offensive line to the right. So I know that my O-line, even though they don't show anything graphically, I know that they will slide right, and I know that my running back is going to block left. So this is a really nice way to pick up certain blitzes. As well as, you know, you can do something like this, where if I wanted to, let's say I'm running Overstorm Brave, I'm going to pinch my line, or pinch my defense, I'm going to crash up and play outside, and I'll bring this guy down here in the line. So the opponent is sending 6, and they're going to be doing the glitch where we can try to manipulate the line by using the, or by playing the user, I should say. And what we can do here is we can run scissors, where we can block our running back, slide our offensive line to the right, and then we can ID the opposite side of the slide. So something like this. And as you guys see, I'm only blocking 6. And we're able to pick this blitz up pretty well to try and get some time to make a read. Now, if you guys mix that in with what I was showing you how to beat man coverage, You guys are going to slice up man coverage just by the time that we're given right there. But guys, that is going to be it for the video. I hope it did help you all. If it did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Channel has been getting awesome support lately. I really can't thank you guys enough. So again, hope it helps. I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Peace.